Hi, everyone. Welcome to Living Wisdom and Dharma World. Today, we're going to explore the miraculous life of Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, the Lotus-Born Master. He's always been fascinating Buddhist practitioners, being an everlasting revered figure in the history of Buddhism. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to inspire others on their path of discovery. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflections may spark meaningful conversations and mutual growth. Together, let's start our exploration. Born from the lotus, the divine arrival. They say that great beings don't come into this world in an ordinary way, and Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche, is the perfect example. Unlike most of us, he wasn't born from a mother's womb, but instead appeared miraculously in a blossoming lotus in the middle of Danakosha Lake. The king of the land, intrigued by this divine child, recognized him as someone extraordinary and raised him as his own. But Padmasambhava wasn't destined for royal life. His path was far greater. Guided by wisdom beyond his years, he left the palace to pursue the highest spiritual realization. Guru Rinpoche once said, "Though my body may leave, my blessings remain as long as my teachings are practiced." From the very beginning, his life was filled with signs that he was a master beyond time, destined to bring transformation wherever he set foot. The master of esoteric wisdom. From an early age, Padmasambhava immersed himself in deep spiritual training, mastering both the exoteric and esoteric teachings of Buddhism. He traveled across India, studying under great masters, absorbing the teachings of Mahayoga, and unlocking the most profound tantric wisdom. One of his most influential teachers was Ananda, a direct disciple of the Buddha, who transmitted to him deep meditation practices. Through his intense meditation and practice, he gained mastery over supernatural abilities, what some might call miracles, but for him were simply the natural expression of awakened wisdom. He could tame wild spirits, walk through fire unharmed, and manifest in multiple forms. When asked about his powers, he responded, "For those with faith, no proof is necessary. For those without faith, no proof is possible." One well-known story tells of how Padmasambhava was put to the test by an arrogant king who doubted his abilities. The king ordered him to be burned alive, but instead of being consumed by the flames, Padmasambhava transformed the fire into a lake of lotus flowers, emerging unharmed and more radiant than ever. Stunned, the king fell to his knees and became one of his devoted followers. This event is still commemorated at the sacred site of Paro Taksong, Tiger's Nest Monastery, in Bhutan, where he is said to have meditated in a cave, flying there on the back of a tigress. Tibet's supreme spiritual architect. Padmasambhava's most famous mission, and the one that forever changed the landscape of Buddhism, was his journey to Tibet. In the 8th century, King Trisong Detsen of Tibet sought to establish Buddhism in his land, but his efforts were constantly thwarted by hostile forces, both human and supernatural. He turned to Padmasambhava, knowing that only someone with extraordinary spiritual power could tame the land and make it receptive to the Dharma. Guru Rinpoche arrived and immediately set to work, subduing negative spirits, converting powerful local deities into protectors of Buddhism, and dispelling obstacles that stood in the way of the Dharma's establishment. One famous account tells of how he subdued the fearsome demon of Yamdrok Lake by binding it under an oath to guard the Dharma. His wisdom, compassion, and power made him a force that could not be resisted. In another miraculous event, when local hostile priests tried to poison him, Guru Rinpoche simply drank the poison, turning it into nectar. He then manifested as a blazing, wrathful deity, terrifying his enemies into surrendering to the Dharma. His teachings were deeply transformative. Do not remain in the present state of confusion. Enter the path of wisdom with determination, for this alone will bring liberation. He played a crucial role in founding Sami Monastery, the first Buddhist monastery in Tibet, and trained the first generation of Tibetan monks, ensuring the continuity of the teachings. Terma teachings, wisdom hidden for the future. Padmasambhava was not just thinking about the present, he saw far into the future. Knowing that times would change and the Dharma would face difficulties, he and his closest disciples concealed sacred teachings, called termas, hidden treasures, across the Tibetan landscape. These termas, buried in caves, hidden in stones, or even encoded into the elements, were meant to be discovered by destined tertans, treasure revealers, at the right time. This ensured that his teachings would always be fresh, relevant, and accessible to those who needed them most. One of his most famous predictions was, "When the iron bird flies and horses run on wheels, the Dharma will spread to the lands of the red men." Many believe this foretold the spread of Tibetan Buddhism to the West in modern times. The legacy of the Vajra Master. Guru Rinpoche's teachings emphasize the direct realization of one's true nature, the power of unwavering devotion, and the necessity of skillful means in the practice of the Dharma. His teachings form the core of the Nyingma school of Tibetan Buddhism, the oldest of Tibet's Buddhist traditions. The Vajrayana path he established in Tibet remains one of the most powerful spiritual systems ever transmitted, emphasizing transformation, profound meditation, and the realization of the luminous nature of mind. He warned against superficial practice. If you want to reach enlightenment, do not be satisfied with mere intellectual understanding. Meditate deeply and make the teachings part of your being. One of his most accessible teachings is the practice of Guru Yoga, where a practitioner visualizes Padmasambhava and recites his mantra to connect with his enlightened energy. His mantra, Om Aham Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Hum, continues to be recited across the world, invoking his blessings and transformative power. Many practitioners experience visions or signs of his presence when calling upon him with sincerity. Another remarkable miracle is the story of how he left his footprint in solid rock at Rewalsar, Tsopima, in India, a site still revered today. It is said that when Guru Rinpoche was meditating there, doubters tried to harm him. In response, he stepped onto the rock, and his footprint was embedded into the stone as a sign of his indestructible presence. The ever-present guide. So, did Guru Rinpoche ever truly leave? Not really. His presence is felt wherever the Dharma is practiced with pure heart and dedication. His teachings, miracles, and wisdom continue to shape the lives of countless practitioners, guiding them toward awakening. If one calls upon him with faith, he is there, like the lotus in the lake, appearing just when he is needed most. As he himself declared, "I am never far from those with faith, even if they do not see me. My compassion is ever present, like the sun behind the clouds." Thank you for joining in this exploration with Living Wisdom and Dharma World. If you found this video insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to Living Wisdom and Dharma World for more teachings on the path to enlightenment, which also allows the system to recommend to more people to the discovery. May your practice and pursuit of truth bring you wisdom, happiness, and liberation.